Part four.
Or portfolio.
We've made a lot of progress too. We've come a long way since uploading our first video.
Yeah, this is actually
we have four clips out now and 2 episodes out now. I'd say we're doing pretty good, and we have 5,000 views on our channel.
Dude,
Yeah,
this is our first episode since actually dropping anything.
Yeah, yep.
Is it really?
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
It feels different, doesn't it?
It does feel
It's
different.
when
I
we
feel like
recorded 3.
we can just I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm saying like a lot. Holy shit! I gotta get my grammar.
I did that a
right.
lot in
What
the
I'm
last
saying is,
episode, like
okay.
the past couple.
We got to. I feel like we're in the groove a little bit more. We can approach it a lot better now, rather than just being really fresh with it. We're kind of experienced a little more.
I mean, every time we do this, we're a
No,
bit
I
more
know.
experienced.
I agree. It's just we're just building our characters is all.
Yeah,
Remember, I told you, experience is valuable, man.
it really is.
Like,
I mean-
it doesn't matter if you're getting paid for it. Okay. Like, in a realistic sense, you should get paid for your jobs, but, like,
yeah.
experience is definitely valuable.
Yeah,
in my
it's
opinion.
a weird scale. I mean, education, is a lot. I mean, you can't get experience unless you know what you're doing. But also, I feel like education only takes you so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you got to actually get out there and do it.
Yeah.
To actually because you learn a bit more education as you do it. Because, if you do it, you're like, well, the book said it to do it this way, but in reality, it's never fucking perfect. So, you might have to learn a slightly different way to do something.
I mean, a lot of people do work their mindset based off what the book said, but
Yeah.
once you actually do it and figure out what works and what doesn't, that's when it makes it easier for you to understand the fact that maybe we really didn't need that from the beginning.
Right. That's why I
Yeah.
think it's important to find like that balance between book smart and street smart,
Right.
in my opinion.
Okay, what does street smart mean to you, then? Just as a general question. Not to be like...
Sure.
that might have come off kind of hostile, especially with the
Yeah.
hands and shit. Like, the only black guy asking you, like, what you mean street smarting?
What you mean by
What you
that?
mean by that? No, I didn't want to come at
Lay
you
it on
like
the
that.
table right now.
I guess street smart to me means and like implies like stuff that you learn just by doing stuff. Like I guess like the experience of like
So,
actually
like-
doing stuff. Like say for example, if I wanted to work on my car,
Yeah.
street smart would be more of like word of mouth education and also just like, all right, well, I got to replace this carburetor. How the fuck do I do that? All right, well, there's 4 bolts that I think are hooking it up. Let's just fuck
Just
with
try
it and
it
see
out.
what happens. And then it works for you. You learned it all by your own. There was no source of that knowledge. There was no book. There was no internet. It was you figuring it out. To me,
So, like,
I'd say
okay.
that's more of what street smart is. Whereas book smart is obviously go to school, read a book.
Street smart. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What does it mean to you?
So, okay, to me, growing up, street smart was more about, like, knowledge of one's environment, like, knowledge of your surroundings, knowledge of, like, how to properly interact with those around you,
Sure.
Like, being able to adapt to a new environment and stuff like that. Like, basically understanding the customs of where you're at, like, understanding the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when I was a kid, my uncle used to say, like, if you're enjoying the fireworks, maybe you shouldn't call the cops on the person, shooting the
Sure.
fireworks just because it might be illegal in a sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's that was how he described street smart to me, and I kind of built my own interpretation off of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I don't know. Keegan, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with Xavier. I think it's like when you walk into somewhere and you see a bunch of people that you might not have grown up with because they have different backgrounds.
Sure.
You automatically feel a certain way and you act a certain way because you know that's just how it is.
So do you feel like so you guys feel like street smarts is more so along the lines of like a social intuition instead of like
That's
an
more
actual,
so
like,
what I would say. Yeah, like maybe
Okay.
don't throw your C's up super high in a neighborhood where the
Yeah,
blood's hanging
that's
out.
what
You
I'm
know what I
saying,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
That's how I was taught growing up. That's
Sure.
what street smart kind
I
of
think it
means.
could be kind of like a double meaning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on the individual because
Sure.
not everybody's streets are the same. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, because my streets were I could be out till whatever time riding my BMX bike around the town with no supervision.
Yeah, and like that's
But I grew up in a village.
entirely different.
You know? Like,
Village.
it's literally defined as a village. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Whereas,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're even from a bigger town, and then you're from
City of St. Louis,
sir.
baby.
never even
Like
been.
the city, not just St. Louis County. Because St. Louis County has quite a bit of townships underneath it, but the
it's actually its own
city,
county,
my
too.
boy. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
That's where like the rest of my family lives. Most of them moved out of the city and like into the county, you know, because it's like safer and all that.
Right.
But I'm like I still came from the city, you know what I mean?
From the heart.
Is
Yes,
it as
sir.
bad as I've heard it is?
Well,
St. Louis?
it kind of depends. It kind of depends what you've heard. You know what I mean? Like there's a pretty high crime rate.
I mean, I just
It's
know
more so-
what I know from my roommate, because he's from there as well.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Oh, you're
And,
right. He
I
told
don't
me
know,
he was like from the surrounding areas. but
Yeah, he said he was there a lot though. And,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. He said you wouldn't want to go alone, basically.
Yeah, if you don't really know anybody out there,
Yeah.
maybe you're gonna get kind of
I guess
a cold,
that's anywhere
distant
though.
feeling.
It's
yeah,
not just that place, but that's what I've got from that place.
yeah.
I guess I've never
mean,
been there. I don't know.
It's a really gorgeous place though.
Okay.
Like,
Is it really?
oh yeah, dude. St. Louis is so rich with like culture. Like at the end of the day, like there's poverty that affects everywhere, but like
Right.
St. Louis in particular can be, is it dragged or drug? I don't know. It can be brought down by like the extreme poverty you'll see there, but like there's still such a rich culture, and the
Sure.
people there you can tell like actually really give a fuck about each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Does it have like a pretty like rich like nightlife like there? or
It
is
actually does. You just have to know where to go, you know?
go,
And
yeah.
like, well, it doesn't help. I was in St. Louis up through my teenage years, so I really wasn't like, I've only been back since I was over 21, maybe 4 or 5 times.
Sure.
So like, I really didn't get to dabble in the nightlife too much. But when I did go, it was pretty lit. I'm
We'll
not
have to
gonna
make
lie.
a boys trip sometime.
Hey
have
man,
to show us the
guys can meet the
spots.
fam, dude.
sir.
Maybe get some St. Louis style pizza.
Ooh, never even heard of it. Is it good?
It's basically just thin crust, but like we low key.
I'm a
coin
thin
that
crust
shit.
guy. I like thin crust.
Bro,
I like
the
za,
shit just
dude.
hits different,
Yeah,
bro.
who doesn't like za?
Dude, yeah. On God.
Which one?
Well,
I feel that. Oh, I have a question for you boys, actually.
what's up, dog?
Something I thought about on the way here. Like, you ever have a song hit you like right at the perfect time and you like feel like you're in the music video? Like you'll be in the car and it's like raining and shit, like when I was driving over here.
Yeah.
And this song came on that I haven't really fucked with since I was like a teenager. But for some reason, I don't know, man, it just hit so right. And it was like rainy and shit. And I was whipping the wagon, bro.
just
I was
got
like,
the-
damn, this is the music video right here. You know what I mean?
What song was it?
So I don't even know what to categorize the artist as. I'm just say his name's Bonobo. He was like he was like a huge influence for me like growing up and stuff, because like my mom was really like particular about song lyrics, but he made like some of the most fire instrumentals from like the mid 90s to like the early 2000s. If you're into like trip hop, if you will.
Trip hop?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
you
it's its
telling me
own-
about that.
Okay.
It's just trippy ass hip hop. It's like a
Yeah.
fusion between like electronic hip hop and like R&B especially.
yeah.
But the song was called "If You Stayed Over." Oh my god, dude! It hit a little different, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to show you guys that sometime.
There's a lot of
It was
songs that
gorgeous.
I mean, I don't know if that happens to you. You just explained an example, but that happens to me as well. I'll be driving,
yeah.
or like I'll even be at the store or something, and something in my life may have happened, and that one song came on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, that
have it take you back to a moment
Yeah.
like the last time you heard it.
that
you know?
happens all the time, for sure. And I feel like songs are connected through your connection to people.
That's very true.
I think they have a heavy like influence on like your memory. And
your
stuff,
memories,
too.
yes.
It's like, do you guys remember your very first favorite song? And do
Very
you remember where
first?
you were like hearing it? Because for me, one of the
That's tough.
okay, so the very first song that I remember being like my favorite song was actually "Rockstar" by Nickelback.
Wow.
I know, makes
All right.
sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
But the biggest memory song I have for like being like one of my favorite songs too was "The Sweet Escape" by Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani.
And I remember, yeah,
It's a fucking bop.
I
Come on,
remember
hit it,
very
hit it.
specifically. I remember very specifically walking through the grocery store with my mom, and that was just playing on the radio because it was like
Damn.
the hottest song back then. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I like this.
Swear
And
to God.
I swear to God, I had no idea who it was. I didn't know who Gwen Stefani or Akon was. Like, I just, for the longest time, I never heard that song for like, I don't know, like 10 years, right? And then sometime in like 2017, I was like 17 years old, right? Like, I always thought that song was a fever dream. I thought I made it up. I thought it was a
What?
dream. I thought it was. I had never really heard it since, and I never knew the name of it.
What the
And
hell?
Yeah.
What the-
And then
You
one
live
one
under
day,
a rock, my boy?
I
That's
guess
Gwen
so.
Stefani.
I guess so.
I'm so confused.
Well, I knew
Alright,
like Hollaback Girl. I knew like who
Well, yeah,
Gwen
so,
Stefani
like-
was, but I didn't know that specific song was called Sweet Escape. So I didn't
Oh,
know.
so you just never looked for it?
Yeah, I think I tried, but I think all I knew was.
Okay, so,
So
wait,
it's
so you
got-
mean to tell me you didn't even know Akon?
You didn't know Akon?
No.
You could have just looked up Gwen and Akon. That's like their only song together, I think.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Well, I think I knew who Akon was, but I didn't know that he was the guy in that.
Oh,
song.
okay.
So
I
I
guess
think
his part wasn't too huge.
Yeah, I
guess
didn't know
you can miss
Akon,
it.
like, cause it wasn't at that point where I developed my ability to hear voices and know who they are.
Oh, so you wait. When did that song come out?
I don't
Were
know.
you that young? Hold up.
Pretty young.
That's like just not clicking to me.
But
All right, go on.
yeah, okay. So I remember I was like just browsing YouTube one day, and then like I found it. I don't know how, I don't know if it was like YouTube autoplay. I think I was like listening to like Midnight City by M83, and then like I think autoplay just brought me to Gwen Stefani's Sweet Escape, and I was literally just like, what? This is real? There's no way. What the dude? And then it was literally on my playlist for like a month straight.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Someone
dude.
was wanting to open up a core memory for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Just
Yep.
the YouTube algorithm was hitting me, and I was like, damn. And I still remember that moment of
Damn.
sitting in my bed on my shitty laptop, browsing YouTube, rediscovering that song. And then I never forgot it
awesome.
from there. Never forgot
Damn.
it. But,
God damn.
yeah, what are your guys' favorite songs? First favorite songs,
Fuck, dude. That's
Keegan,
a
I'll let you
tough
go first.
question.
if you can remember.
That's a very tough question.
What's the earliest one that you remember?
Favorite song? I like every song.
Come on, man.
Okay, if it's a bit easier, first favorite artist. If you can't narrow down a song.
So growing up, I heard a lot of like country and rock and stuff like that. I didn't really listen to any like rap music, I guess, until like maybe 17. Even.
Sure.
So
Were you just not a big like music listener? Like it was around, but you
yeah,
never
it
really
was
cared
around.
about
Like
listening to
I
it?
wasn't like really into anything in particular. I just knew a lot of things.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I've
I
been.
guess
into-
one that really stands out is like I guess like you said, Nickelback, and
Yep.
another one is Def Leppard.
Okay.
Ooh.
Fuck. Why can't I think right now? Let me pull my phone out.
All right.
Quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Nickelback was probably my literal first.
Because I still listen to
Yeah.
a bunch of songs today that I know I've heard back then.
Right.
And that's what I tied to. And I guess maybe they weren't my favorite back then, but they are now because I heard it back
because
then.
like nostalgia.
It-
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because like back
Oh, Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Alice in Chains.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck yes.
Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Those are all
The grunge
like the
bands.
artists that I like or
Sure.
listen to growing
Yeah,
up.
I remember Nickelback was definitely like the first artist that I really, really fucked with because I was like fucking 5 years old hearing how you remind me on the radio because this was like on-demand streaming wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
Like MP3s were barely a thing yet. This was still like
Yeah.
Napster and LimeWire, but I was still too young to like learn how this
Yeah.
shit works for like another year or
Right.
two. And I remember just hearing that shit on the radio. I'm like, I love this. What is this? And then eventually like my cousin had like the Silver Side Up CD and I was like, oh, this is so sick.
Yep.
Like I love it so much. Like I think How You Remind Me was probably like one of my favorites, but like I could never actually fucking find it anywhere. But then I got whatever album had Rockstar on it, and like that one just blew me out of the water. I was just so amazed by it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
I can admit, like, okay, I've never been like a huge Nickelback fan like that,
Yeah.
but I can say their song "Hero" was pretty
Yeah.
pretty significant in my childhood, mainly because
so high.
okay, only because like when I was like maybe 3-4 years old, my parents made the fatal mistake of bringing Spider-Man home on DVD.
Yup.
I played that shit on repeat for probably about a week straight.
Was that
not even
is
gonna
that in the
lie.
first one?
Yeah,
Was that-
the
okay,
very first
yeah.
one that was in the credits.
Dude.
That was, I mean, I've never been a Nickelback fan like that, but that song will always have a special place to me.
That one's like technically just Chad Kroeger.
Is it really?
Yeah, that one's that one's actually not on the Nickelback page. It's Chad Kroeger and someone else. I forget who it is. But that one's actually separate.
I forgot, honestly.
But yeah, it's pretty fire.
So I guess Nickelback has they have a moment in almost everybody's life, whether they fuck with them or not, you know?
Well,
You've heard some Nickelback.
Nickelback just got hate for no reason. I actually watched a YouTube video.
No reason is a strong, that's a
What's your
strong
reason?
accusation.
You don't like him?
Well, it's just, okay, I'm not really into like country-ish music or country adjacent, I'll say.
I wouldn't
His
say
voice has like a southern twang to it. It's country adjacent for rock music. Or
I'd say
like
it's
more
like
so
American
pop-ish.
rock sounding.
There's a lot of American rock bands that don't sound like that though.
I guess.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it's maybe patriotic if you want to say it like that. It
Okay,
has like a
sure.
very Murica type feel to it, but
America.
fuck yeah.
Fucking
no.
lifted trucks and bunch of sluts.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Phrase that around here.
But it is a bit bald eagle rock, but
Sure.
I mean, I don't think that's inherently a horrible thing. It's just not my style, you know
Well,
what I mean?
see, like widely though, like Nickelback, unless you're actually in tune with music, because like Nickelback is definitely a meme of like fuck Nickelback, they suck.
Well, yeah, they're
But
an
there's a
easy
lot of
target.
people out there that you ask them if why they hate Nickelback, there's like I don't know, like crowd,
Yeah,
crowd
yeah.
It's the crowd effect. It's like everyone else does. So
Yeah, everybody else would.
And I
fuck
watched a
with
YouTube
Nickelback.
video that actually traced it back to like this one interview that just for some reason got traction. It was just this dude that was just like, "Fuck Nickelback! Nickelback sucks!" And then for some
was
reason,
funny.
like that went viral, and like one dude like was like, "Yeah, fuck Nickelback," and then it just it was that crowd effect, and then
It was
so
like one
much
of the
so to where
first
that
memes.
original interview was just lost, and now everyone just hates Nickelback.
Dude, that
for
was
no
cancel
reason.
culture before the
Dude, literally, it's literally what it was. But like
Just
Nickelback,
hopping on the hate train.
like they're a good band. They're not like my number one Spotify shit. Like I don't listen to them that much
Right.
anymore. And like, but like, you still gotta respect like their hits. You know, just with
Oh,
any
yeah.
band, even if you don't care about them that much. You know, like
Yeah, I feel
they're
that's how I
obviously
feel,
good enough to
honestly.
be as big as they are.
Yeah, so I mean, they know how to appeal to their crowd.
You think
know
they
who
care?
listens.
No.
I think it did.
They
affect them
probably
for a
did
while.
get
at first, and then
It fucked with them for a while, I think too.
I mean, because like social norms, man. Like, imagine you're like, hey, bro, I got tickets to the Nickelback concert, and they're just
Man,
like,
burn that shit. Yeah.
I
like
choose
you
your
listen
money.
to Nickelback.
Well, it was like kind of like a double-edged sword. Like they hated it a bit because it was like
Well,
it
yeah.
put a lot of pressure on them, but it low-key made them more viral.
Oh yeah, like their
it-
names were everywhere.
Yeah, it
for a
made them
little
more
bit because of
successful.
that.
So it's like, it didn't even know.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, no attention is bad attention to a certain extent.
To a
you know
certain
what I mean?
extent. I mean, if you're literally getting hate for virtually no reason, like they didn't
Yeah.
do anything to be canceled. They were just getting canceled because hearsay. like,
Okay, that is true.
Like-
And,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
must be a shitty feeling.
yeah,
Super
It probably
shitty.
was.
Yeah.
Damn.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
imagine,
they got over
imagine the let's say like they had like 1 million plays per month.
Sure.
It brought down to like 600,000.
Sure.
That's a big effect on something.
Well, back then it wasn't really even that. It was radio plays.
Bro, yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the radio didn't really give a fuck about a meme.
They,
Like that's
No.
why Nickelback never really took a hit like
No.
that. Because by the time the internet was like booming, like the "We Hate Nickelback" was already like an ironic meme, so
Oh, yeah.
everybody knew there was really nothing
well,
wrong
and if you
with
see
Nickelback.
Nickelback playing out in the wild, most people are mouthing
Yeah.
words to it. Like,
Yeah,
they
you know,
it.
if
Yeah.
you know a Nickelback
Yeah.
song, don't even lie.
Um,
That's enough about
Photograph.
them niggas.
I love photograph.
photo. Look at this grab.
It's such a meme now.
Make me laugh. All right.
Welcome to Playing by Ear, everybody. This is episode 4 of the goddamn podcast, and my name is. I was about to say my name is Xavier. Whoa!
Wow.
That is untrue. My name is Delson, and I'm here with my 2 other lovely co-hosts.
My name is Keegan, and to the right of me, my lovely friend.
My name is Xavier, and
real
identity
one.
theft is a crime.
Well, you will be reporting me, and I will have to be walked out very shortly.
Yeah, I'm gonna report you to HR for SH.
That's a that's a WU
W. Word.
What?
right up.
Right up.
Oh,
That one's for you, Jim.
you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Does he? Does he? Yeah.
He's gonna love that.
He definitely does.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is
Oh,
this is
man.
episode 4. This is actually, I don't know if the pre-show was kind of cut out at this talk,
Yeah.
but this is actually the first episode that we're recording after we've dropped something. We had 3 episodes like recorded before we actually
Yes,
released
sir.
anything, and now we have 2 episodes out and like 4 clips out.
We have 4 clips out. Yep.
4 clips out.
And we have gained a total of 5,000 views on our channel so far.
Most
so
of them
thank
are
you
shorts,
guys.
but yeah,
But-
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It feels really good.
It does. Well, we actually have
Seeing
some like
progress.
feedback
Right.
to go off of.
Yep.
And like data to analyze. Know what I mean?
Yes,
like it's
sir.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Like
think we
I
got-
I really thought it was going to be our inner circle mostly, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
people that we know.
well, it was at
directly,
first.
but
Like
it-
episode 1 was.
Yeah, but even then, we were still getting clicks from like
Yeah.
other places.
See, the
man.
thing that helps is those fucking clips, dude.
The shorts.
This is why we have to
TikTok,
like to
Instagram.
make sure that they're out there consistently. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been doing like consistently like one every 2 days for what? Only a week now.
Only
and
a
we've gotten
week.
5,000 views.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Only a week. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
right place,
I
right
had,
time, you know
I
what I
had
mean?
no idea we would even be in that spot.
You're right. Now imagine a month later,
Mhm.
episode 3's out. We have 6 more clips out, right? Or month? No, it's like 12 more clips out.
12 more clips,
12 more clips out.
maybe 2 episodes.
2 episodes
Yep.
out.
Imagine
What
3
if we're-
months. Imagine
What if we're at 10,000
6.
views? You know,
Exactly.
if it's 5,000 views in a week, how much is that in a year? 5,000
Times 52.
Seven.
times 52. Was that someone who's the biggest brain here? All right,
Yeah, definitely Keegan.
yeah.
At least for math.
Yeah, I can't do math in my head. 50.
No, I was just seeing like numbers flying around.
Okay.
It's just
So-
like the Matrix.
In 1 year, if we did that every week, we would accumulate 260,000 a year.
That's not bad.
For 1 year. That's not
Well-
bad at I mean that's way better than
Well, and if
0.
we're consistent, growth is likely exponential.
Right.
So
That's the hope.
that'll actually. What if we had like 1 million views on the entire channel by the end of the year?
I'd cry.
Even if it's like 5,000 views per short, and it's not like one video doesn't have 1 million
Mhm.
views, but if the channel
Still seeing that
has
number.
a total like 1 million,
That'll make me feel some type of way
Dude,
for sure.
the
I don't know
highest-
about you guys.
the
but-
highest views for like a total channel that a YouTube channel I've ever done was about 24,000, which I was like, damn, that's like over 20K. That's
Fuck
crazy.
yeah.
We're already at a fifth of that.
We are. That's damn.
Fuck yeah.
In a week.
In a
And
week.
mine was like over 11 months. It's crazy.
The work we're doing is somewhat it's paying off.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, we talked about it before, but we started this whole endeavor in like just talking about it like what, early November of
Oc-
2022?
October, I
Like
think.
late October.
It was October, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were planning.
2022.
We were planning, and today is April 16th, 2023. We're like 6 months into this thing. A little bit over, probably, I think, too.
Most of
going
it was
deep.
planning and getting our schedule down
Planning,
to fit with our real
equipment,
life. So
Consistency, workflow.
consistency.
Aesthetics.
That's like
Aesthetics,
that's still one
yes.
thing that we can be a lot better on is the consistency. I would say we're doing really good right now.
I mean,
though.
the past
Yeah.
week, we've been doing great.
The past week, but before that,
Before that,
Yes. We got off to a rocky start.
Yeah.
With like,
Well-
as do all of us, you know.
we got you finally editing a little bit.
I know.
Why don't you tell
Fuck yeah.
tell
So-
everyone how that like
Dude.
kind of experience has been kind of getting
That has been-
reintroduced.
It feels so good to actually, because I've always known that I would love it if I actually put my head down and focused on how
Sure.
to do said
Right.
thing. So meeting you was a very, very huge thing in like what I want to learn. So, and the fact that we're even doing this podcast together blows my mind because how the fuck does that just happen?
I mean,
in
yeah,
your
you
life?
guys all thought one, we wouldn't even get to one, and two, it'd fall off after the first
Right.
episode. But here we are, number 4, baby.
And many more to come.
Many more to
Many
come.
more.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy.
And potential guests too. Don't
Yes,
forget about
sir.
that.
oh yeah,
We're not quite there yet, but
The growth is exponential.
We've gotten a
Yes.
lot of requests for guest appearances, actually.
Dude, everyone wants to be on this shit.
I know.
think-
We
I
don't
think
even have like a huge following.
we
yet.
really need to have people on that have something going for themselves mostly. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
not just
Potential.
I mean potential what do I want to say? That could potentially lead somewhere in the same vision that we have.
yeah.
We don't want we know a lot of people that are a lot of bums. That,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
We know a lot of bums.
Well, a lot of
and-
people that would want to mooch off our potential
exactly,
success.
and they would have never said that to us if we didn't do this. If we didn't start doing
But
this.
at the same time, I don't want to abuse our platform and be selfish. I mean, our entire goal with this podcast is to share the things that have failed for us and share what can work. And maybe this entire thing works, and something that doesn't work for us may work for someone else. So if we somehow get an audience and we have a way to give a platform to someone else that's just needs that little bit of a push
well,
up.
that's what I'm
little
saying.
leg up, you know
I
what I
guess
mean?
I'm trying to say is we need. Let me rephrase what I said before.
Sure.
We need people that are goal orientated.
Yeah, motivated. determined.
Motivated.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want like some random guy that we just have known for a year.
Hey man,
and-
can I get your podcast, bro?
Oh, exactly.
Can I get on it, please?
I feel like we've got a lot of that recently. I don't know if you guys have, but I have, and I don't know how to say no without sounding like a dick.
Yeah, I do get it because sometimes like the requests seem like insincere.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, hey, can I get on that?
Like
shit?
if somebody really approached us with a good idea and
Right.
told us what they were planning to do, I would be totally open to
Or
do
even if
that.
it's just like, hey man, I got this gig that I'm trying to get up, but I really
Right.
don't know how to like market it or anything. Like, can I
Right.
just come on and like talk to you guys? And like, sure, like if you got good things to talk about, hell yeah, we can hop on, we can talk, and then maybe our platform will give you a little. Like,
Exactly.
people like your personality, and be like,
Yes.
shit, let's go check out whoever that guy is, you know.
Yeah, right.
I just want us to be able to help somebody else and them to help us with things. Like
Right.
converse and
Yeah,
get
so
back
it's collaboration.
Exactly.
Give some,
Yeah.
get some.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think
right.
there's anything really selfish about that.
No, there's not.
No.
It's just people always take it the wrong way every single time. And there's nothing you
Okay.
can do about that.
Well,
and
I
that's
feel
okay.
I feel like it's like a lot of people that are like outside of that world or like this world. They, they're brain dead TikTok scrollers, right? As most of the world is,
and that's
right?
the only way that they see it.
And they see it from one side only. It's like, oh, they're making TikToks, they're doing whatever the fuck. They're rich, they're famous,
They're
whatever.
not seeing the actual work.
They're not seeing the work. They don't know how much work it is. They just see, oh, there's someone like doing this. Like, that's cool. I've never met anyone like that before. Like, I want to get on it. I want to get on their success.
Right.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Because like they want that paycheck, you know.
There's
but-
no paycheck.
And
There's
we're-
no paycheck.
We're
There's
not, we're not
very much no
saying
paycheck.
we're not saying that we're anything right now.
No, we're
Like,
trash.
We're just like that's where our vision wants to be, and that's where our main focus is with the
Yeah.
with this podcast.
Right.
Anyway, so
I think it's more about just wanting to hop on something that's already been established
Right.
as opposed to
Right.
like establishing something of your own.
rather than a startup, they want
Yeah.
something that's already been going. Which
yeah,
is
which I
it's
mean,
hard to
I
start.
get it.
how is that
It's
fair?
definitely
Because
difficult
why wouldn't they want to go through what we went through?
because it was hard.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it. Everything
No-
is hard.
No good thing is life. No good thing in life is easy.
No.
Like not a damn thing.
Everything is earned.
But I do understand it in some senses of. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I said everything is earned, but then I was like, maybe not.
Yeah,
actually.
possibly not.
I do kind of understand it in some regard of like there's nothing wrong with collaboration. There's nothing wrong with asking. As long
Right.
as you ask it like decently, non-dickishly, like okay, if you want to hop on something, you want to try to if you feel like you have value to something, there's no harm in asking. Like say like if we weren't as established, just say if it was like just like me and you or something, right?
Yeah.
Just having a podcast where we have this idea or whatever, but we don't have any of this equipment or something. And
Right.
say Xavier comes along and he's like, "Oh, you guys doing a podcast? Shit, I've always kind of want to do that. I have these microphones."
Yeah, or some shit like
He
that.
was like,
yeah.
and I kind of have this knowledge, like if you like, I can like give you guys some of this if I can just be a part of this.
Yeah.
And we're like,
That's-
fuck yeah.
Well, Delson.
I mean,
that's kind of
that's
what happened with
essentially
you.
what
I was gonna
happened,
say
I know.
You did.
Yeah, because remember me and you used to just talk about aliens and shit on the dock, and we were
Yeah.
like, dude, this would be a great podcast.
I think the idea was actually stemmed from before Delson was even where we work.
Right.
You and I would talk back and forth. We'd be like, "Well, this is really good." And
Yeah, it was just like,
Delson just showed up one day and started speaking into my ears. It sounded nice.
we just like,
It sounded really good.
Like, damn, what's this guy on about?
I was like, wait, he knows something I don't.
we just
I-
like
I need
rubbed
that.
a
He's
lamp
woke,
or
he's
something.
awake.
Yes. And he's like, I was just putting 2 and 2 together one day, typing on my little computer.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to do something with this.
Yeah, I think wasn't it like you mentioned, it's like, man, like I've always wanted to do like a podcast. Like we should like, I don't know, like I'd love to do something like that. And I was just like, bro, I have the equipment. I've made a podcast. Let's
Yeah.
do it. I remember when I told you about the podcast that I had already, you're like, there's no way you have a podcast on Spotify. I was like, yeah, look it up. Here's the link.
Dude.
And I remember you listening to it. I was like, ah, cringe. No,
No.
don't listen to it.
That's me. It
was pretty good.
No, Xavier and I watched it on the ride home
Yeah.
that same day. And we looked at each other. We were like,
I was like, this
"Whoa,
is really good.
this is excellent.
yeah, like this quality.
Why
like
does this
some
not
of the
have
grand
more
concepts?
views,
You know what I mean?
you know?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, what if we just started our own?
Yeah.
What if we just started fresh from new, all organically,
Yeah.
besides our one TikTok?
Yeah, the
But-
one outlier
yeah,
that has
I mean,
16,000 views.
What if? And then we did.
And we did.
And
We
it
talked about it. It's
Man, this feels. It just feels.
I
so
feel like
good.
it's very, like, to all you like young entrepreneurs out there and young people that are just wanting to start your own thing. It's very, 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 very hard and very challenging to have an idea, especially with collaborators, because if they're not as dedicated or they don't see the same vision as you, it's hard to get something off the ground.
Yep.
But it's very hard to go from that planning. It's like, yeah, we should do it. We should make a YouTube channel. We should make a podcast. We should do whatever together. It's very hard to get it from that motivation of let's do it as a coworker talk to actually, all right, let's hang out for 6 hours after work after a long 8-hour workday.
This was not
plan
a
it.
one-time conversation.
Let's plan
This
it.
happened
Let's-
over
let's
many
buy whatever.
months.
Let's buy whatever equipment we need to get. Let's
We were lucky enough.
learn the
You already
programs.
had all the equipment.
You are.
and that made us
made this a lot
rise
easier.
a lot faster than
Yeah.
I anticipated. So
Well, yeah, because I mean, I already figured out how to get the quality for the most part. The other part was
and you
just,
had the editing background, and
Right.
the Photoshop background,
right.
That just helps so much.
I've just never really had
That's a
any
very key
success.
piece, right?
It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier in the podcast was I have a lot of like book smarts in a sense of
Yeah,
I've done all the research. I figured out how to make the best thing that I'm like able to create. Obviously, I'm
Right.
still learning. Like you never stop learning, and you never should learning. If you stop learning, you're frankly you're an idiot. Like you're
Yeah, there's
like
always
never
more to
think
know.
that you know everything. But like I already kind of knew all that, but I've never really had a moment to where like I've had feedback. I've never really had even a little bit of a success.
So is this the first time
Organically,
that
yeah.
you felt that
bit.
that feeling? It
A bit.
Can you describe that feeling a little bit?
It feels good. It's motivating to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
and it really helps actually having like the collaborators on the project, like you two, be just as motivated and dedicated, and like seeing the vision as much as I do.
Yeah, putting as much of our free time into it as
Right.
we can.
Well, especially with
Yeah.
like you actually getting reacquainted with
Right.
editing has
Yeah.
been really helping like my mental state with it, because it's like
right.
all the pressure's on me with my slow ass computer and like
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
quite yet there.
Yeah,
but
well-
I'm getting there.
Sure.
I'm very much so a lot better.
I mean,
than
you
was.
independently produced your own clip. Sure, like the animation on the
Right.
text was a little rough, but you
Right.
didn't ask me for any help.
I
you just
wanted
figured
to.
it
I
out.
wanted to do. I didn't want to tell you. I wanted to surprise you with it.
I know. I
for
saw that.
reason.
I was like, damn. damn.
And I was like,
Damn,
I just want to do it. I just want to go for it. I don't care. It took me 5 hours. I don't care.
How was that experience? Like,
It was
Yeah, I
long
feel.
because I had to Google a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I remember you told me, you were like, dude, just literally, if you have a question about one thing, literally look it up and you'll know it forever.
applied learning.
Exactly.
You know,
And I
like,
did that. And
if you guys get to a point to where like I don't know how to cut this clip, you know, what like in Premiere Pro, I don't know how to do this. Look up how do I cut clips in Premiere Pro.
I think
Yeah.
everything else just gets it feels like a lot of pressure when you're
Right.
just looking at the whole screen trying to edit.
Yeah.
Because you don't, like, 2 months ago, I didn't know file export, or even how to render a video.
Like media and shit. yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, something I learned a long time ago is like if you have a big project in front of you, whether it's a solo or collaborative project, and whether it's, like a personal or school project or anything, if it seems super daunting and you get anxious about it, break it down into little tiny bits. Like we want to create a finished podcast. All right. You have to record. You have to like if you want to edit it, like
Okay, you have to set up.
what's first? Sync the audio. All right, how do I
Yep.
do that? Figure out these little mini roadblocks that are like, oh, that's doable, that's doable, that's doable. Instead of like, make a podcast. Oh, that's intimidating. Okay, sync the audio, cut the clips, Then it's like, oh, after a couple hours of doing mini little roadblocks, you have your final product.
With that being said, I mean, it's not about the end goal. It's about the small steps that you take to get to your end goal. You're never gonna climb up the mountain in one day. You're never going to reach the goal after a night's rest. You're always going to be learning something new to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to realize what's important, because we tend to see everybody else succeeding so fast, but we don't know what they went through.
Right.
They could have went through 3 years of 0 views, 0 subscribers, nothing.
Yeah.
And then one day it just popped off. I mean, just because of how skilled they were getting
Well, and
in those 3 years.
not even that. They're like specifically with like YouTube and stuff too. Some people will grind for 2 years before they finally see their first ad revenue check of $20. And you're like, fuck, 2 years of grinding consistently and all I get was $20. That
As a start.
like
But
we're
put
not
it
at that
into
point either.
into a bigger
True, but-
timeline.
With an actual personal feeling, like a lot of like creators, like you get to that point, you're like, all my work for $20 for fuck. Like that's it can be very demotivating.
Yes.
And I feel like the people that actually are like truly successful and stand out are the ones that don't take that as like fuck, like I'm not good enough.
I'm
It's
just gonna
like
stop.
it's like I just need to keep going. That consistency is work to get me $20. Now let's keep her going.
Use it as motivation.
Everybody's road looks totally different.
Yeah.
It's
all about how
not
you look at
always
it.
going to be like somebody else's was, how somebody else's could be. It's what yours is.
Yeah.
You just have to accept that.
It's tough.
But we are
Him.
we have found our way.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good.
I think.
Not gonna lie.
How do you feel about it, Xavier?
I feel like there's really no excuse. Well, I won't say no excuse. That sounds harsh, but like in the age of the internet, we can learn literally anything, bro.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
literally anything you want to know is out there somewhere on the internet. Like if you want to learn something, I mean, sure, there's going to be tools involved. There's going to be money you have to spend at some point to get to your goal most of the time, but you can learn anything on the internet, man.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
remember changing my spark plugs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, no, the coil packs.
Yeah,
Whole
the
ass
coil
coil
packs,
packs.
yeah.
That was so fucking easy, dude.
And you were so scared of it.
Dude, I was terrified because I've never worked on a car I was making payments on.
Yeah.
I will
like,
never
fuck.
forget that day. That was a
neither
funny
will
day.
my
Well, you
side
kind
view
of made
mirror.
it hard to forget.
Bro, it's fucking crazy.
You want to tell the
Still-
story?
All right. So I ordered my coil packs. Actually, no. First, I went to Volkswagen and asked them how much it would be to replace my coil packs, and they were like, "Well, since we changed your spark plugs and they're already out, we're gonna take some of the labor cost off, but that's still gonna be like $530." I was like,
It's steep.
yeah, I think I'll try it myself. And
Yeah.
like, I'm scrolling through the YouTube results, right? Because remember what we said, YouTube is your best fucking friend,
Sir.
bro. So like I'm scrolling through the YouTube results. Not a single one of the videos was longer than 20 minutes on how to change your coil packs. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's worth a shot. My man Keegan had all the tools, everything I would have needed, had the garage space, a little snug for a garage space. But I pulled her in, got them bitches changed out in 15 minutes.
Peachy King, dude.
Bro, hopped in my car feeling on top of the world.
Had a beer,
misfired.
too.
Yeah,
Had a whole ass
Had a
beer
whole
too.
beer.
Car's running smooth as hell. No more misfire.
And then
Misfire gone. Then I go to back out of this motherfucking garage
For a test drive.
for a quick little test drive. Little do I know, my mirror is just a hint too far out and comes right in contact with the median between the garage doors.
I think
when he
it
says
actually
snug, he meant
hit the
snug.
track of the garage door. Thank God it didn't bend it. It didn't do anything to the garage, but like
Yeah,
it
like-
totally
Yeah, the garage
demolished
was
your mirror.
Yeah, my mirror is
just
fucked. man.
crushed
I'm
it like
so
back and just
pissed.
shattered the
Yeah.
entire mirror and the fucking casing on it.
I mean, I'm glad I was able to just like pop it back in and like it's cracked, but I can still see out of it.
Yeah.
And it won't be too hard to replace it either. But
Yeah.
like, the
Dude,
irony of getting something done that efficiently just to fuck up my side view mirror is
You know,
unfucking
in that
real.
moment, I was like, "All right, it's gonna be mad for a little bit, but now we have something to talk about."
Yeah.
And that's what I like is the memory from it.
I
Get out
literally
there,
like
live
I
some
saw
life.
it coming and I was like, no. Like I could not like figure out like it happened so fast I could not even like think of the words to say like say
Yeah.
Xavier stop. And like, literally I heard it crunch, you stopped and I was just like, oh he's pissed. He's so mad. He's so mad. Fuck.
What
that it
did I
even
say?
would've
I
mattered.
said, "Well, that's broke."
yeah, I just hopped out like, oh,
Yeah.
my fucking god, dude.
You can only be mad at yourself.
Yeah, because like, what else is there? Am I gonna be mad at whoever built this house, bro? Like,
Yeah.
it was fine until they stood. It wasn't their fault that I forgot to fold in my goddamn mirror.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still got those those coil packs changed, so I'm not even
Well,
mad
hey,
about it.
And the mirror, we put it back together. It was
Yeah,
fine.
it's usable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to think about that situation or any situation that you guys might like experience, you could take that and put that towards anything you want to do creatively. So say, you feel like you can't do something because it's so daunting. You figure out it's not that hard. You break it down. You do it, and you're like, yeah,
Easy as fuck.
but you might fail. You might break your mirror. But hey, you know what? You know to always fold them in next time.
Yeah.
So you might try
can't
to
do
do
shit.
something, fail, but you learn something for next time.
And now you know how to do your spark plugs too.
Yeah.
Fuck
That was
yeah.
the whole
Yes,
main
sir.
thing. But you learned
was so
something
easy.
new as well.
Yeah.
Keep
Not
your
to
mirrors
mention-
in.
Like, not to mention, bro, a huge part of the hustle, like especially what we've been talking about, like we're always talking about, go out there, chase your dreams, get
Yeah.
that money. But saving money is actually really important too. Like people don't realize there's a lot of shit you can do for yourself
Yeah.
and like save money. Just use the internet, bro.
Yeah.
Like instead of having to outsource everything you have to do, like
Right.
car repairs is a big one for me, but I understand how that can be daunting to a lot of people. But if you have
Especially if
like
it's your daily.
oh yeah,
It's even
God, dude.
scarier.
That's why just try it out on a weekend the first time and make
Yeah.
sure and have it be something small. Start small,
Do tune
or
up, change your
maybe
spark plugs,
yeah, or just attend one of your friends like fixing something, and maybe
Yeah, that's a big help.
that helps a lot. And like if you have access to tools or if you have tools yourself, just I don't know, give it a shot.
Yeah.
It helps to have more than one car, but if you don't,
Right.
I mean, give or take, change a tire every now and again. It makes you
Yeah.
feel, even if you're not
physical.
really doing,
The
yeah,
feeling you take away from it is a lot more important than actually doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean,
Well, and honestly, like especially like with just mechanical work specifically, like you do something that you're like, I'm not sure about this, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
You do it, and if you actually do it successful and it's good, and you're like, I saved all this money, you're just like,
Bro.
you're on top of the world.
bro, you just hop in that
feeling is like
whip,
nothing else.
whew, you're him after that, man.
You're literally him.
You fucking did it.
Like I work on I have a motorcycle. I have multiple motorcycles that I work on, and like I've changed the tires on two of them before, like myself,
Yeah.
And like the feeling of like pulling the wheels off, pulling like the chain, and like the brakes all off.
There's
actually,
so much more that goes into it.
actually
on a
like
bike.
pulling the fucking tire off the wheels and then like actually changing it. It's like, damn, I feel so good. Like I don't like doing this because there was a pain in the fucking dick. But I know if I had no other choice, I could.
Yeah.
Because I've done it.
That's the whole point, you know?
Yeah.
And now you
Save
can
you
do it
some
again.
money.
It gives you like a certain confidence. Yeah.
And again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're building skills the whole time, bro.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Building
like-
your character again.
Fuck yeah, you're upping your stats like crazy, bro. Like my
That's like
dexterity
+3
with
that
tools,
time, bro.
bro. My mechanic XP is low key a lot higher. Yo,
Got
something
excited.
broke.
It's fine. Yeah. No. But yeah.
but the more skills you have, the more you can get paid.
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like I am low key thinking about going for my ASE.
You should.
I feel like it's something I would like. I mean, I would like to, if I have enough time, like go for my ASE and then maybe go specifically into like Volkswagen Audi schools because that's what I did a lot of research.
What
that's
is
actually
what is ASE?
your automotive service excellence certificate.
Okay.
That's what it stands for.
So it's like you're basically certified to be a mechanic after that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
Isn't it only like a year or two course?
I believe so, and it's not even that expensive. It's just a
I
lot
think
of time consumed, you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
I mean, there's not a whole lot to engines unless you start getting into like supercars or.
well, that's my whole point. I want to go into the more complicated things, you know. I want to be able to challenge myself for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, obviously normal things are going to be a challenge, but like, I don't know. I want to go into a field where I feel like there's not enough people. Like as soon as I bought my Volkswagen, I realized, oh shit, there's not enough people around here who know how to work on Volkswagens.
No. A lot
So,
of them
like,
won't touch
you know,
them because they're foreign.
Exactly, and like not just foreign, but like German foreign.
German, yeah.
Like the scary foreigns, the expensive ones.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, and plus if they're gonna remain as expensive as they are to a certain extent, you can get paid a lot more for working on stuff like that, and
That's
like
true.
other cars only get easier. So you know, that's something I thought about, and it also brings me to a thought. You know, sometimes if you feel a void out there, instead of looking for someone to fill it, just fill it yourself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Be who you want to see.
Be him.
Be him.
Be him.
I can't help. Sorry, this is way off topic, but
Yes.
from what you were saying, you said the word German.
Okay. Okay. Where's this?
Where are we going here?
Sorry, this will only last like 30 seconds, but I can't stop thinking about this German girl that I met a long time ago. Can you talk me through it?
The LDRs, bro.
Dude.
Don't even fuck with the long distance relationships,
Sorry,
bro.
I just had a moment. We're gonna move on. I don't know. She's awesome. She's got that like accent, so I think it's not like anything I've seen my whole life. So I saw something completely different. It was foreign,
Fresh.
and she was foreign, and I think that's why I just hold on to that thought so much. Is because what if I do end up meeting her again one day?
Yeah.
And it like every time I had a conversation with her when I knew her, it's like we knew each other for our whole lives. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think foreign girls are so much different than girls in the U.S.
I mean, 100%.
Hop into Volkswagen.
No, her dad drove. I don't even remember what it starts with like an O. I think the company does.
Oh, like probably like an Opel or something like that.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, those.
in Germany. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
it's-
she's like Opel,
Yo.
and I was like, I have no idea. And they drive on
I don't
the
even know
fucking
what that
right
is.
side.
Is kaput.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's my little tangent on.
That's your tangent.
As my- on my-
So, pretty much what you're saying is that like meeting someone that's not from your circles and not from your small town, it was eye opening to you,
very
culture
it's something,
shocking
something
almost,
very
right?
different in my life, and I liked it.
and you like that fresh feeling.
Yeah.
It made you realize how big the world actually is.
The world
Exactly.
is
Like
big.
how
people.
small, how secluded we are to our little area.
Like
and
like when I was 18, I moved from my small little village to Central Florida, like just like damn near like 20 minutes from Orlando, right? And I worked there for a couple months, and while I was working there, like just like normal customer service job like I was used to before, but the people, like the amount of like people that did not speak English,
Mm.
I'd never really seen before. It like
Really?
literally culture shock. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
dude, the most time I ever heard Spanish, like
Was in Florida, yeah.
well, like growing up until that point was
Oh, okay.
was the Spanish kids in school
Yeah.
that were learning Spanish. I never really heard fluent Spanish apart from like media,
Yeah.
right? Like actually
But
hearing
shit,
it,
yeah.
people talking to me, I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, I don't know what they're saying. Like, because either they'll speak Spanish or a different language, or they'll speak in English, like very broken English with a heavy accent. And I'm like, I feel so bad. And it just, it literally, it
like
blew
you're-
my mind because like,
Right.
damn, I'm small.
You
small.
gotta,
Like-
you just gotta get out more, man.
I
It's
know.
it's a great big world,
I
my
know.
friend.
It makes me want to travel
Go see
so
more.
badly. And like,
Minneapolis was great.
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
I've never been to Minnesota.
Bro, it's fucking nice. You need a card for weed out there. I was disappointed. But
Yeah.
and you have to be a resident. That's why there's not a huge like market out there.
Sure.
But I will say what I saw, the culture was nice. It was rich. They love them some chili peppers.
I believe it.
And the chili peppers love them because I guess the Lakers started in Minnesota. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there's no lakes in California, is there?
Ooh,
There might be some.
I don't
Not
know.
a lot. I
Maybe
don't
not
think.
very big one. Not like a Lake Michigan.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
like a mini ocean.
California is more about the ocean and the beach. So,
Yeah.
like, the Lakers didn't make a whole lot of sense until you think about the fact they came from Minnesota.
Okay. I
they
honestly,
based
I'm a
out of
sports guy, and I
California?
did not even know that.
That's a dad fact for you. My dad told me that.
Dang.
Shout out, Pops.
I'll never forget that. That's crazy, man.
You guys want to end this episode with a dad joke?
Ooh.
Did you guys know that your eyes are one of the final things to die in your body? Like when you when your body dies,
Okay.
your eyes are the last things to like decompose.
Mhm.
It's because they dilate.
Tell.
Fuck you, man.
I have a really short one.
Our safety guy told me that one.
That's
Oh, I
that's
love
like,
my
man,
safety
I
guy.
gotta learn to not trust you. He was like, yeah, you should.
Be safe.
You got a little dad joke before we end this pod?
yeah. Ask me, or I want you to tell me why, or tell me that you're going to get a haircut.
I'm gonna go get a haircut.
Are you gonna get one cut, or are you gonna cut them all?
Wait.
Several. I'm gonna get several haircuts.
I always heard that one going up.
Fuck.
That's funny. Do you have one, Mister
Ooh.
Padre?
Dad jokes. See, my daughter's not really old enough for the dad jokes, so I just kind of like fuck with her. But like, what's one that my dad told me? No, you might as well skip me, dog. I can't.
Ah, that's all. That's
I don't
all
have
good.
any.
Well, this has been Playing by Ear, episode 4. My name is Delson. I'm here with Xavier and
Yes, sir.
Keegan, my two lovely, beautiful co-hosts. We
Yes.
talked a lot about more about dreams and our goals in this episode. So if you want to see more along that, or financial goals even, why don't you go check out episode 2 where we talked about stocks.
Yeah.
Bye.